Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick video about thinkers and feelers, but really just something that is really prevalent within TJs and FJs. So extroverted thinkers versus extroverted feelers. There's something I really notice is that I believe that extroverted feeling, no matter where you have that in your functional stack, FJs have this the most, but TPs also use extroverted feeling, and FPs have subconscious extroverted feeling. Extroverted feeling is the authority on your social behavior. Is this hurtful? Is it not hurtful? Is this efficient when it comes to establishing a relationship? Is it conducive to harmony? How should I treat this person this way, yes or no? FE sort of has the authority on those sort of relational questions, where extroverted thinking, TJs are really good at this. Extroverted thinking has the sort of authority on what is effective as far as a business sense. What rules make sense to further a project along. Both FE and TE are results oriented, but in different ways, and you need to organize. It's like organizing things or organizing people and their emotions behind those things, essentially. So I know both of those things aren't the full definitions of FE and TE, but I'm not trying to get into that right now. I'm just trying to look at these two things that, from my experience, it seems like FE users just they seem to get into relationships quicker and easier. They seem to have more long-lasting relationships because they know the sort of communication that needs to happen. Where I've witnessed TJs and FPs sort of having a crush on each other for a year or two and the relationship not moving along because neither of them are communicating what those feelings are. Whereas a FJ or a TP might have a business idea for a long time, but not really take the steps that you need to move that along. So FE has the authority on relationships, TE has the authority on business. That's just something I've noticed. That's not always true, but it does. I'm not even going to go as far as to say that that's a direct causation, but there definitely seems to be a correlation there. So what I want to say to the TJs watching this from an FJ is that it seems like TJs have a lot of excuses for why they are single, or why they don't have great relationships with their family, or why they don't text back promptly, or why they aren't communicative about their emotions. They have a lot of excuses. I was busy, I didn't see my phone, all these things are excuses. But that's fine. You can go ahead and do those excuses. But I want you to look at it from this other point of view. Is that if an FJ goes to work and their boss is judging them based on these measurable metrics, and an FJ says, oh, well, I was sad that day, so I didn't get as much done. What would your boss say to that FJ? It would say, I don't care. You didn't meet this TE rule. And that is the exact same in relationships with FE. Oh, sorry, I was busy. I didn't see my phone. I don't care. You didn't communicate with me in the FE. Therefore, the relationship has an issue. If you, just like in the TE, if an FJs are the most guilty of this, but any type, if they don't abide by the TE rules and standards, let's say you want to go on vacation, but you have a goal, you're trying to increase your social media followers by a certain amount, and you're a marketer. You're going to need to automate those things so that you can take a break. You can't just use an FE excuse and be like, oh, well, I had an unexpected death in the family. I could not complete my tasks. I'm sick. I could not complete my tasks. I was on vacation. I could not complete my tasks. You have to figure out how to complete those tasks. And I'm not saying that, like, you should... I'm not saying that you should never have a moment of rest, but you gotta figure out, if there's a bottom line, there's a bottom line. If your customers are waiting on you, you gotta give it to them, or else your business might fail. And the FE is like that with relationships. It's like, all right, I get you were napping, but maybe you should text your girlfriend and say, I'm about to take a nap. You know, it's like you go out, you have to go out of your way for a relationship to work. And if you aren't doing those things, if you aren't investing in the relationship, it's not going to work. And what I would say to a TJ is that just as FJs have to abide by the TE rules in a corporation or in a business if they want to keep their job, you're going to have to communicate with your girlfriend if you want her to stay with you, or boyfriend. TJs could be girls or guys. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what the result is going to be. I'm not telling you, TJs, that you need to use better FE, you need to be nice, you need to be better at relationships, you need to invest, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that if you're wondering why you're alone, like, this is why. Because you don't just... your intention doesn't really matter. It's like, you could be the smartest person ever and not be good at school. You could love someone a lot, but not be good at loving them as a verb. And I'm sure you know, and I'm trying to compare, like, the feeling side versus the thinking side. I'm sure you know there's been times when you have known a lot about a topic, but then, like, failed the test because you didn't exert that knowledge correctly. It doesn't matter how much you know. If you weren't able to prove to them that you knew in the TE, then it doesn't matter how smart you are. If you aren't able to deliver, then it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how good your ideas are. And in the business world, you have to deliver. And in the relationship world, you have to deliver also. You have to deliver your love. And I know a lot of TJs that make a lot of excuses where they're worried about, they just are afraid of being vulnerable, honestly. They think, oh, I told them I loved them once, they should know. Shouldn't have to prove it or say anything. No, you do have to prove it if you want them to stick around. It's just how it is. Like, and hopefully this resonates with you. Probably any thinker could learn from this lesson, but especially TJs, is that you are going to be alone forever unless you figure out how to improve and invest in your relationships. And I know TJs that are really good at it. And so if you're making an excuse and saying, well, I'm just not an emotional person. Well, I just don't feel like I should have to express my feelings. It's just like, you could live that way, but your life is going to be reflected back to you and you probably won't have the best relationships. It would be like if I entered the business world as an FJ and I was like, well, I'm smart, but I shouldn't have to set any metrics because I just know I'm doing a good job. I don't have to tell you what I did during a meeting because I know I did. I know I'm smart and I know I impacted it. I know I'm doing the most efficient thing. I don't need to explain it to you. That's the same metaphor. So I know that TJs love very deeply, but unfortunately it does not matter unless your partner knows that you love them, unless you know how to love them, unless you're treating love as a verb. So this is something that I have just witnessed a lot, like from my friends who have liked TJs. I personally have never had like a strong relationship with TJs. I've gotten along with them as friends, but I think that we both sort of know that like I would maybe be too much to handle for them, so it just hasn't really ever gone there. But this is something that I hear my friends complain about to TJs that I know. I've heard that TJs make these excuses to me. This video is not meant to tell you to stop making those excuses. I'm just telling you that if you continue to make those excuses, then the result is going to be that you're going to be lonely, you are not going to find a partner, and you are going to feel disconnected. So just know that that's what you're doing. And if you would like to invest in your relationships, and you're gonna have if you want a different result, you're gonna have to do something different. You can't keep making excuses like that. And you know, I feel like since our society kind of values thinking and values success a lot more than happiness, I feel like I, as a feeler, have sort of been forced to use TE to prove my competence in ways that aren't natural to me. But it's made me happier when I do it, whenever I actually exert my intellect like that. And I think that it might make you, as a TJ, happier if you told your loved ones how you felt every once in a while. You don't have to act like an FJ, but you do have to invest and communicate, or else you'll just feel your emotions and your introverted feeling, and it won't really be helping anyone. Even though you have a good intent and your heart's in the right place, if you aren't expressing it, then it's not really helping anyone or doing any good. So, hope this video helped, and I'm going to post a link to my Facebook group, Personality Typology for Self-Growth, below, and I'm also going to link to my Patreon. If you have any video ideas, please let me know. All right, bye.